Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to if you're new. I wanted to start off this video by showing you these super cool fabrics that I picked up from Dollar Tree. Okay, you guys, well, I am so excited for today's video as it's my very first Halloween DIY. So today we are going to be creating a crashing witch, and we're doing a crashing witch from scratch. This is a very old gown, a graduation gown that I had picked up many years ago from the DI, which is a secondhand store here in Utah. But before we get into that, if you guys love these type of videos, don't forget to show me some love by giving me that thumbs up. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know every single time that I upload. So as I was saying, I picked up this graduation gown many years ago. My son was a wizard, and we basically used this gown and a hat and a wand. It was a super easy and cheap costume that he utilized, but this has been sitting in a costume tote in my basement forever, and I figured this would be perfect for our witch's dress. And these legs are from Target. I want to say about 3 years ago is when I picked it up, maybe even 4 years ago. And I had used them out in one of my planters, but I thought obviously this is going to be perfect as her legs. And the broom is one of those cinnamon scented type brooms that I picked up at one of our local grocery stores. And I'm going to go ahead and use zip ties to go ahead and secure them together from the broom to the legs. And you guys, just so you know, I am going to be using a whole lot of hot glue in this tutorial, but I want you to know that off camera, I did actually use a needle and thread to secure everything, just because I would hate for her legs to fall off, or the broom, or pretty much anything that we end up adding. You guys will see here shortly. So I do recommend not using just adhesive, or whether it's this type of glue or any glue for that matter. I do recommend that you sew. I'm not very good with a sewing machine, and nor do I think this would be a great project with a sewing machine. I'm just saying I just use regular needle and thread to reinforce everything that I glue down, just to make sure that it is nice and sturdy. And we are starting from scratch as mentioned, so you guys will see how we build her body and then how we make her nice and sturdy. So we are going to go ahead and now take a whole bunch of bags from the grocery store, and that is going to be her bum. I'm just showing you here. I'm just basically tying the top and I'm sticking it down, as you can see here, forming her little bum there. And now we're going to go ahead and glue it. And then we are going to go ahead and basically later on, I will show you how we use a little bit of it's felt to cover up the bag. So in case her little skirt flies up or anything like that, you'll actually be able to see some ruffles and all that. You won't be able to see the bags is my point. But you guys, this is super easy and so fun. I literally just turn on my either YouTube or Netflix, and I just enjoy myself. I just have so much fun crafting. I kind of tune out and just love life. Okay, and these, you guys, are so cool. I picked these up at it's Family Dollar here in Utah last year. They're supposed to be zombie hands, but witches are always green and like cartoons and whatnot. So I thought, oh my gosh, these would be so perfect as her hands. And who's gonna know otherwise? I just think it's super cool. And that's why I ended up using those. And don't worry about how you cut your material. It doesn't have to be perfect. She's a witch after all. She doesn't care. She's just in to be, make havoc of everything. And then we're using this pull noodle so that we can go ahead and have one of her arms stretched out like she just hit the wall and it's smashing and she's like, yeah, oh my goodness. And then to kind of explain the reason why I put one of her hands in the back of her, I liked to make my things a little unique and different than anything else that you can find at a store. So obviously most of the time when you have a crashing witch, her hands are either wrapped around like a tree or something, or to the sides of her. So we did one to the side, and then the other one I put in the back because I thought it would be so cool that, she knew she was going to crash, but she wanted to protect her poison apple. So I went ahead and put one of those hands in her back, and you're going to see me add an apple here shortly. And that is why, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a background or my train of thought, if you will. And now we are going to go ahead and glue down the other arm into the noodle. And I apologize, you guys, the angles of the camera can be a little bit tough. But like I said, I'm not doing anything too extraordinary, just gluing stuff down. And everything that I want you guys to really focus on and see, I will make sure that you guys are on camera angle to see. And these are the apples that I had shown you on my video last Thursday that I picked up from Big Lots. So now you are going to go ahead and glue that down to her hand. And then I thought it would be cool to add a spider because it's a poisonous apple, and what better way to show that it's poisonous by adding a spider, in my opinion anyway. So like I said, just it's the little things that add so much character and dimension and just make it super cool, again, in my opinion. So now I am going to go ahead and turn her a little bit, and you guys will see here in just a moment what we're going to go ahead and do. This is a wig that I had from many years ago when I dressed up as a witch myself, and this is another thing that I had in my tote that, from costumes in the past, and I figured this would be perfect. So if you guys have old costumes, refurbish them, you guys. Like in this case, I am trying to either donate things that I'm no longer using, or in this case, I'm refurbishing it. And so I am basically using a bunch of stuff that I already have. Quite literally, the only thing that I bought brand new that you can see so far and what I've used is the apple and the spider. Everything else I've already had. Now this fabric, I'm just kind of showing you guys that I'm going to be using in her dress. But before we do that, I wanted to go ahead and show you that we're going to go ahead and attach her hat, and we're going to be using the fabric in her hat as well. So anyway, you guys, I really hope that you are enjoying this. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch for a little bit, and then I'll be back to explain a couple more things in just a moment. All right, you guys, so as you can see, I went ahead and took a little of my leftover cloth that I have had. This is when I made my summer outdoor flag, if you guys recall. This is a little bit of that material that I had left over. And all I'm doing here is just making sure to cover up the back so the noodle isn't showing or exposed, or any of the bags or even the back of the hat. So we're just making sure that she's nice and covered. I mean, not that anybody's going to be seeing the side, but we also don't want anything to be poking out. That is the main purpose of us going ahead and doing that. And now for one of my favorite parts, which is adding the decorative pieces. So I'm going to start off showing you what I add to her hat, but at the end you guys will see the grand finale on how it turns out. I end up adding a little bit of purple just because, as you guys are well aware, purple, orange, and black are basically very traditional Halloween colors, and I wanted to make sure she had a little bit of all of that. Especially since there's so much black with her, I wanted to just add a little bit of color here and there. But yeah, so now what we're going to go ahead and do is take the rest of that material, and as I mentioned, we're going to add this to the bottom of her dress, skirt, whatever you want to call it. And we are basically going to go ahead and just hot glue that trim around. And like I said, you guys, it does not have to be perfect. She is a witch, and you know, homemade dress, whatever, she is going to be so stinking cute regardless. So enjoy it. Add that glue all the way around, even in the back, or the front, technically, if you know what I mean, because we're going to be seeing her back, her tush. You guys, I'm so silly. But anyway, that is what we're doing for now. As I mentioned on Thursday's video, it is time for me to highlight my 3 favorite comments from last video. This is something I want to do on every video, so make sure to comment, you guys, because maybe you will be highlighted. I want to thank you guys so much for all of your love and support. It's actually hard to pick because you guys are all so sweet and so amazing. All right, you guys, this is what she looks like so far. Isn't she so stinking cute? All right, so now we're going to take this board, and this is what's going to make her nice and stable. And we are going to go ahead and glue that. Now, I want you to know that I left that glued with super glue and hot glue overnight. So as I've mentioned to you guys time and time again, projects don't take me just a couple minutes. This is another day. Now we're going to go ahead and finish her up. We're going to take her tush and we're going to cover her with felt. That is so that we basically don't have any of the trash bags exposed, and that way if her skirt were to blow up, it won't be a big issue, because what you guys are going to actually see will be the felt. Technically it's not even going to be the felt, because we are going to add some cool little ruffles, but you know, I didn't have a lot of the purple, so I added a little bit of the black. But basically you're going to want to cover everything, so I'm doing the purple in the middle and then 2 blacks on the side, and even in the middle it almost looks like a diaper. I end up adding the black right in the middle, in between her legs, because we want to make sure that everything is completely covered, so that in the event of any type of wind or whatever, like I said, you're not going to be able to see that. So here we are. I love this type of material. Now at first, as I mentioned before, I go in and glue everything down, but then after that we are going to go in. I don't know why I always say we, you guys, and I always get asked who we is, because it's just me, myself, and I. So when I say we, I guess it's me, myself, and I. Anyway, I go in and go ahead and basically take needle and thread to everything and reinforce everything. But I like to glue it down because I like to see where I want to position everything. So as you can see here, I'm zoomed in so you guys can see how I go ahead and do this. I am basically making sure that it is attached to the felt. But I went ahead and made sure that when I pulled down her dress, that you could still see the ruffles. So this gives just another texture to our witch, just another piece of added decor, and it just gives her more oomph. As I said, you guys, one of my favorite things in the world is to add as much character and personality to my projects. And as you guys have seen with my DIYs, I don't make things halfway. I don't try and simplify things. I make them quite difficult and extravagant, hence why you only get one DIY today. And this rope is showing because it's on my craft room door, but when it is outside where I plan on putting her, you will not be able to see that, as she will be up high. So just keep that in mind. And I just showed you how I attach the rope, but I am showing you the finale here, and I think she turned out absolutely perfect, absolutely gorgeous. And like I said, she will be up high, so I think she is just so beautiful, and in my opinion, way cuter than anything you could ever buy online or in a store. Of course, I would love to hear what you guys think. Would you guys take this much time to recreate her, to create your own? Do you guys think it's worth it? Let me know. I mean, regardless, I'm so happy that I did it, and I am very proud of the way it turned out, and I cannot wait to display her. And you guys, of course, will have to see where she ends up once I decorate for Halloween. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I really hope you have enjoyed today's video. And as always, I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.